Hello everyone, my name is Eliza, and in this video I would like to talk about some interesting findings in DMC5 that I did not include in some of my previous videos. In particular, the video about the sword lore, the multiplayer guide, and the meme video where I attempted to compile every single moment when a character says the word power in all 5 DMC games. And since there is so many small things I missed, I figured out why not just compile them into a quick, small, separate video format where I address these little mistakes about things I simply did not notice or did not know about, only when it was too late and I already uploaded the videos. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. The first mistake I would like to mention is from the end of my sword lore video, where I left out talking about the visual description of Nero's sword, the Red Queen. I mentioned that it looks like a combination of a great sword and a single-bladed sword, such as a katana, but I left out talking about the visuals in further detail, so here it comes. On the blade of the Red Queen, there is a deep line can be seen going across the blade. And one interesting feature is the two square-shaped edges on both ends, under the hilt and on the other side as well on the tip. I believe this adds such a unique shape for the blade. Without these, the Red Queen would be simply shaped like a katana. The most important feature is the engine though, and there is a little stick above the handle. I don't know how they call it and what purpose it serves, since Nero not really pressing it, instead he twists the handle of the sword like a motorbike's handles in order to activate the propellant. I'm not sure how to explain the mechanics of this sword, but that's not the important thing I wanted to talk about. What I regret not including in the video is the little details on the Red Queen. In DMC4, there is a beautiful rose thorn pattern can be seen engraved into the blade, similarly to the engravings on the blue rose. However, the Red Queen's design actually changes quite a bit in DMC5. The thorny rose vine pattern actually disappears completely, but it still has red colors that can be seen at least. Instead, however, there is a new engine had been added to the blade. Maybe this is the combustion engine that Nico was talking about in the library. Perhaps Nero actually upgraded it. This change is kinda hard to notice, since flames coming out of the sword in a very similar way in DMC4 as well, but this time the flames clearly coming out of these engine parts. And finally, the entire blade in DMC5 looks like having so much more curvature than its DMC4 design, which kinda looks straight and a little stiff in comparison. I think both designs are super cool and beautiful though, but perhaps they could have kept the pretty rose symbols in DMC5. And that's all I wanted to mention about the Red Queen. It's not a big mistake to leave the detailed visual description out, but it would have been a nice addition. I find it actually pretty cool. Alright, so actually, after I wrote the script and done with editing the Red Queen part of this video, I browsed the Divinity Statue website a little bit and downloaded all the art books I could find and did some browsing, and I found a concept art of the Red Queen and the other similar swords to it, used by enemies and the Order. And on these illustrations, it is actually really well explained how the sword works exactly. On Nero's modified, customized sword, the illustrator breaks down each individual parts. It shows the injection ports, which are ventilation nozzles, and it expels propellant onto the handle side. Nero's has no rev limiter, so flames shoot out. The orange part is the gear shift, or at least that it should be, slot part, and the red part that I previously called a stick is the axle, which is the accelerator. However, there is an illustration of a basic version of this sword used by the enemies and the Order, so I presume this is some sort of a base version of this sword design. And funnily on this, that stick is called the brake, which I presume helps to stop the sword, which could mean that in Nero's modified version, he actually changes this brake and he turned it into an accelerator, literally removing the brakes from the sword and making it even faster. That's such a Nero thing to do. The next video I would like to correct is my multiplayer guide to DMC5. In that video, I tried my best explaining how the online features works in the game, and at the end, I also tried giving a little tutorial how to install the mod, but seems like people having issues with installing. Well, I don't really know how to help with the mod, but that's not what I want to talk about. Instead, I want to correct an actual mistake I made in the beginning of the video, where I was wrong when I stated that there is never an AI-controlled Nero, V or Dante. and I was half right, because it's not the case for Dante. However, there is one exception that I completely forgot about. In Mission 7, you can match up with another player in real time and complete the stage together if you meet in the middle. However, if you don't match up with a real player in real time, then at the very end of the level, you have to fight a group of Angelos. In that fight, depending on if you play as Nero, the other character is going to be controlled by an AI in real time as it fights against the enemies together with you. And it's not staged or pre-recorded, the AI actually aims at the enemies and performs a variety of moves. This is actually quite interesting, because it means that not only Virgil and Dante has an AI version when you fight against them, but Nero and V also having an implemented AI just for this one short battle when they are on your side. And in case you wonder, this is how Nero fights against the demons when he's being controlled by an AI. It's obviously not perfect, he's kinda walking backwards into the wall and spamming shots, failing to hit Exceed on the sword, but who doesn't? It's not too bad though, he managed to defeat all the enemies by himself. And there is one more mistake I made in the multiplayer explanation video. On mission 14, when you play as V, doing his final mission against the Mirage enemies that Malphas sends at you, I said we can skip explaining this mission, since even though the names of other players appear on screen, you cannot see them at all, which is, to my surprise, turns out to be false. I noticed it on one of my streams when I was S-ranking these missions on DMD difficulty. After you beat the 3 bosses as V, the mission still continues a little bit as you make your way forward towards Malphas and have to destroy a couple of routes. During this, you can actually hear Dante through a wall. Then I activated the free camera and phased through the wall, and indeed I saw my own recording as I played as Dante. Yo, it's me! Wait, it's me! It's actually me! Oh, enjoy my gameplay. And it worked vice versa. When I played as Dante in mission 16, I heard V through the wall in that same room, and I activated free cam to face through the wall. There I saw my own recording again. I'm playing as V. Wait, I can see myself? I hear myself. It's over. I think you can. I heard myself. Where am I? Because I remember last stream, remember when we played as V? I hear it. I'm here. There you are! This is me! Counting and doing the...
Who's ready to die first?
Exactly! This was me! Last stream. Oh shit! So I was kind of wrong. You can kinda hear and see other players in this mission, but the best way to see each other is with Dante and Nero. But when it comes to Dante and V seeing each other, it's quite hard. You can only hear each other. I wish the game better implemented this mechanic and you could actually see each other much better and much closer, not just through walls that are hard to see through. Then finally, yet again, I made mistakes in my video titled Every character saying the word power in Every DMC. The problem is, I have re-uploaded this video at least 3 times already, or maybe 4, because I always missed a character saying the word power. And after the most recent upload, I was pretty sure I finally did a good job and I didn't miss any more power. But believe it or not, it turns out I missed potentially 4 power from DMC5, and no one pointed it out to me. I just noticed them much later, either when recording footage for videos or during streams. And yeah, I'm so tired of keep remaking that video, so instead I'm just going to mention what I missed in this video. So here is the cutscenes and dialogues I missed. First, we have Urizen saying power 2 times to Nero when he enters his second phase in mission 8. The best thing about humans is that we never give up. Yeah, he says true power. Why did you guys never told me? I'm so disappointed in you. Dude, Urizen says it again.
Depths of despair.
Dude, Urizen actually says it again, like twice in this fight. I will show you my true power. And now you may ask, why did I show my recording when I was live streaming it instead of going back and recording it in a much better quality? And the reason is simply because it did not happen again. I'm not kidding. I played through the mission again just to record it, and Urizen did not say this again. I tried restarting from checkpoint 3 more times, he still haven't said it. I even tried playing through on DMD again, maybe that's the criteria. He's still not saying this dialogue. Seems like it's an actually rare, random dialogue from Urizen when he starts with saying, "Witness the true power," and then saying, "Very well, I shall show you my true power." I think it could be possible since his opening line,
Power. More.
You ready to do this, Virgil?
when you fight him as Dante for the final time, is also a random opening line, and I had to restart the mission several times in order to make it happen. So yeah, I'm not sure how to trigger this dialogue by Urizen when he fights against Nero in phase 2, but let me know if you have some ideas. The next power I missed was in the cutscene in the beginning of mission 11, when Dante remembers what happened. In this cutscene, Urizen says yet again,
This is power.
and somehow I completely missed this cutscene. Then finally, I also missed Malfa saying power yet again in mission 15, in the cutscene before the boss fight. She says,
Spoilers, King. But you're nothing more than an empty shell with no power. You are as weak as your flesh.
and yeah, that's the final power I missed. Or is it? Let me know if I'm still missing something. And that's it for this short video where I tried my best to correct some of my little mistakes in my recent videos. Feel free to let me know if I'm wrong somewhere in my videos so I can continue to improve and fix them. And as always, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Take care!